Hey guys, this is Dahlia and I help professionals to land and design the international careers that they want. So they can live wherever they want in the world, they can make the kind of contribution that they want to make, and just be able to bring all of the things that they want to have in life, you know, bring all of that together so that they can actually live the way that they want to live and do the work that that is right for them, that they want to do. And so I'm hopping on here because we've been talking a bit about what do you deserve? What is your worth out there? And this is becoming really, really important. And by the way, there's some music behind me for our Facebook Live today. So if you are there, if you can hear me despite the music, please say hello. So we're talking about what do you deserve? What is your worth? And so what I'm noticing is that a lot of people have kind of these dreams, right? So a lot of people would like to be paid more, or would like to get a certain type of job. Maybe, you know, a lot of people are scrolling through Instagram, seeing people traveling, seeing people with different lifestyles. And then there's this big gap between them and other people who they're seeing out there. Maybe they're not sure if these are real people or if it's all just kind of, you know, Instagram stars. Or I've had comments that, oh, those people probably just have a rich dad or a rich husband that sends them everywhere, right? Or sometimes the gap is that I've talked to professionals who are working a lot and they've been in a job for a while and they're still not being paid that much. They still have to live with roommates. They still live in like student type conditions, which, not that there's anything wrong with student type conditions, right? We've all been there, but when you've been working for a certain number of years, you start feeling like, okay, is this as good as it gets kind of thing? Am I supposed to just settle and continue like this? Or is there something better out there for me? And is that possible? And some of you guys are fighting for these salary raises, which are not actually gonna make a difference really to your lifestyle, to your life. You know, you're not really going to be able to save significantly more. So a lot of you guys are just surviving and you're waiting or hoping for that next review because it seems like they're going to give you a salary raise of, you know, a little bit more per year, which honestly is not going to help you that much. So you'd be much better off just getting something that doubles your salary, right? Instead of holding off and waiting for these small incremental changes. But what stops people from doubling their salary versus just waiting for and hoping for these little small incremental changes, or what stops someone from really getting the life that they want, or staying in a kind of job that's less than what they would like ideally? What really stops someone from getting to that level fundamentally is that they don't believe that they deserve more than that. And so it becomes this, on the one hand, you want something, but on that lower level, sort of deep down, a lot of people actually haven't quite convinced themselves that they deserve that. So, you know, those are things for other people. Other people earn good money. Other people get to travel, but I only have 2 weeks vacation or whatever it is. Other people get to do work they love, right? I often have people asking me, oh, how did you get your job at the UN? That's so nice. You get to make work for an organization that seems like it's making a contribution, that's doing something good. But I guess there are not many jobs like that out there, so I'd better just work for a corporation that with a mission that I don't believe in, right? Or some people like their jobs, but they haven't managed to relocate. Like some people would like to be doing the same thing that they're doing right now, but in a different location because they want to have that experience of living abroad, and they haven't been able to get it. And what's often stopping them is that sort of feeling that maybe I don't quite deserve that. Maybe that's not for me. Maybe not that many people get to do that, so maybe I'm not one of those people, right? And I honestly think the older you get, the more that that feeling of not deserving something starts to hit you, because I think the younger you are, almost the more entitled you might feel. Although I've also heard, you know, some people have had these, sorry about the cars. Some people have had these sort of hellacious childhoods where they were taught that they didn't deserve anything, that they're not allowed to have anything. So your childhood can affect this as well. But even if you're raised to deserve a lot as a child, you can, as you get older, you can grow up and realize that you're being kept backwards. So people are telling you to be realistic, that you already have a good job, that you're lucky to be where you are, and then you start feeling like you're not really entitled to anything more, or that wanting something more is sort of like being too entitled. You should just be happy sorry, with where you are right now. And so this happens a lot. And if you're stuck in that position where you're fighting to get paid more, or you're fighting to get certain opportunities, you know, you want to take charge of a project, but no one is allowing you to take charge of that project. You're fighting for jobs out there in the job market and no one is recognizing your value, then fundamentally it often comes back to that question that you haven't decided that you deserve more than that. And I think that what happens is that people start thinking, well, why should I deserve it more than someone else? My experience is maybe not that great compared to whoever, right? Or I didn't have the same benefits as that person, right? They had rich parents, or they're a different ethnicity, or, you know, that person had some other advantage or personal contacts or whatever it is. And so you start saying, well, maybe I don't deserve it because I don't have those things, whether those are external things like contacts, or whether you're saying I don't have the experience, maybe my skills aren't that great, and that's where people go and they say, okay, I'll just keep studying or something, as though they're going to be more deserving of their dream life once they've studied more, right? Which is not the case. So really the first step is you have to realize that it's just a lie that you don't deserve something, right? You deserve whatever it is that you can imagine and dream, as long as you are making a contribution, right? Like, why shouldn't you deserve to help other people and bring your skills to the world? And a lot of you guys have so much you want to give, like you really, really do want to do something that is for the betterment of the world, and yet there's still that inner fear that, oh, maybe I don't quite deserve that, so I better play it small, either stay where I am right now, or just aim for, you know, a small salary increase, or aim for a slight upgrade, but nothing significant. Oh, hi Bojana. Say hello if you can hear me. There's a lot of cars around here. So yeah, this feeling of not deserving really can play havoc on your professional life, not to mention your personal life, right? So what often happens, I was just saying, Bojana and anyone else watching, I was just saying that on the one hand, we know we want something more, and often we have this big dream, but on the other hand, we don't quite believe deep down that we deserve that thing. So we believe that, you know, it's not quite possible, we don't quite deserve it, and until we're ready to step up and say, I deserve this because I know that I'm gonna do a great job, I know I'm gonna make a great contribution, until we realize that there's no way to move forward, because that feeling of not deserving is always, always going to hold us back. And what's quite interesting is that even when I talk to some people who are very highly successful, like right now I have some people in the course who are very successful, you know, amazing people, they know that they're deserving in terms of their professional attitude, in terms of their skills, they have lots of years of experience behind them, and still there is definitely this lingering fear of, do I really deserve this? Is this really possible? Maybe this is for someone else, not for me, right? And so as soon as they take a step forward, because they're thinking, okay, this is what I want, I'm a professional, I have all this experience, I can do this, I'm gonna go forward. Then that feeling of, but do I deserve it, takes them back and holds them back. And so really the people who have joined my course, all of them have taken that decision, I deserve this, right? So they've gotten themselves to that point where they're like, yes, I deserve this, I know I'm gonna use this for good, I'm going for it. Even after they take that decision, there is still usually some lingering you know, lack of deserving feelings that are there. There's, you know, all this stuff that comes from childhood and people putting you down and the times that didn't work out in the past. All of that comes back and is still there, and so we still need to work through it. But it really all starts with that decision of, okay, once and for all, I do deserve this. This is going to happen. And just making that decision, because these are things that we can work through. Everyone faces this problem of not being worthy in some shape or form, whether that comes in the form of, I don't have the skills, I don't have the experience, I don't have the contacts, right? I'm too old, I'm too young. All of these things are different ways of not deserving showing up. And really those are all just things that are holding, that fear is coming up with to hold you back. These are not real reasons not to move forward, but these reasons are real for a lot of people. For so many people, those are the things that are holding them back. And I think when people, I hope that when you get clear on that, when you realize these are the things that are holding everyone back, it's not just you, you're not alone. I hope that that can help you to start realizing that people who move forward are the people who have been able to drop those fears. At least, I mean, the fears are always there, right? But at least they've managed to drop the fears long enough to get clear on what they want, get clear on the fact that they deserve it, and make that decision to move forward and to face those fears. And then once you've made that decision, you can work through all of those fears, right? Because those fears are always going to be there whenever you're challenging yourself. And the fears are a good sign. It means you're getting out of your comfort zone. It means you are really upgrading and moving forward. So fear can be a great thing. It shows you that you're on the right track in a way. But if you allow those fears to control your life and stop you from moving forward, then the fear is obviously not a good thing. Then the fear just keeps you where you are. And so you need to be noticing when you feel afraid, because often it's a signal that you're getting out of your comfort zone, you're about to do something which is going to bring amazing results. But of course, most people in life, what do they want to do? They want to do the thing which is easiest, which brings up the least fear, which is the least scary, and they think that's going to bring them these big results. And of course, it's not the case. And unfortunately, in our society, really the struggles and the fear that successful people had to face is not really talked about that much. And so these people who have achieved great things, their sense of deserving and wanting to make that contribution was just, they had the fears as well, the exact same fears as you, but that sense of deserving something more and that sense of wanting to make that contribution and deciding that that is their mission, it has to happen no matter what the fears, and then getting excited about those fears because they know that's moving them forward, that's the work that they had to do. And unfortunately, this isn't really talked about. So when people feel those fears, I mean, we talk about this at a superficial level, right? Like we talk about be motivated, you know, just hustle, that kind of thing. But I don't think that really gets to the core of what it takes to make amazing projects, to get an amazing life for yourself, right? Because we see these people, we go, you're lucky. I've been told, oh, you're lucky, you get to work remotely, you get to do this, you get amazing jobs. But I had to face those fears too. And like, I just had a call with my group and I told them, of course I had those fears, and they seemed surprised, like, oh, you were afraid too? And I went, of course, you know, we all get afraid. It's a matter of how we face those fears. And so I've had that fear, you know, professionally when going into a new work environment, going, am I actually going to be able to do this job or not? I've had those fears many times, right? When investing in coaches, in mentorship, every time is this going to work for me? Am I just going to spend a bunch of money and then it doesn't do anything? What else? I've had those fears when, starting a new job, the fears when I was starting just something new. I mean, even now, starting this business, deciding I was going to start helping people with their careers. The first time I started to do that, it was, what if this worked for me and it doesn't necessarily work for other people? And of course, it was an unfounded fear, because what worked for me also works for everyone else, right? There are certain principles that are just universal, that apply to everyone's life, to everyone's career, and they just have to be adapted to the person. And that, for me right now, is the exciting part of my job, is getting to adapt that to all of these different unique situations. And I think that is really fun, and it's really beautiful and creative as well. So that is what's exciting to me. And it's also a bit scary for me because every single person in my program is different. So every time, you know, I have to prove to the fear that this applies to that person. And of course, every time it does, because there are these principles that work, but the fear comes up all the time in every situation. And often we don't like to admit when that fear is there. It's like a sign of weakness to admit that we're afraid of something. But I see fear as a sign of strength, because if you are, number one, recognizing those fears, which most people refuse to even recognize, right? They would rather go about their life day to day, do the usual stuff, and just ignore those fears completely, because fear is uncomfortable. Fear is a signal that you're getting out of your comfort zone. And so of course, it's much easier to just ignore that fear, right? So yeah, so number one, recognizing that fear is a sign of strength. Number two, deciding what you're gonna do despite that fear. So deciding, you know, it's like they say, feel the fear, do it anyway. So the first step is recognizing the fear. The second step is carrying through on your dream despite that fear. Obviously with a plan, you're not just moving blindly and doing something stupid, but if you have a plan, you have steps that work, then you just have to follow those steps no matter the fear that comes up. And that is truly a sign of strength, and it's that strength that gets people to the top, that gets people their dream lifestyle, whether that is being able to work remotely, whether that's being able to work in an amazing organization or an amazing company, whether that is to earn an amazing salary that allows you to give back to the people around you in your community, that allows you to have savings. So many of you guys don't even have savings, no retirement plan, and that's a scary thing to think about. So you guys often don't even think about what are you going to do for retirement, right? Because it's like a bit scary, you don't know what's going to happen with that, so you just put it aside. I know I used to do that too in the beginning. You know, all of these things are just easier to ignore than to actually take control of. And so all of you who are here, I know that you are ambitious people. I know that you're people with big contributions to make. And I know that a lot of you are ready to start facing that fear and recognizing that you're ready to get to that next level and managing that fear so that you can stop letting it hold you back and you start using it to actually move you forward, to get excited about making those changes. And then when you look back, those fears are going to seem silly, right? Like now when I look back and I go, how was I afraid of going into that new job? Everything worked out great. Everyone was nice. I did so much great work. You know, I can't imagine not having had that experience. Now it seems silly that I was ever afraid of that. Or even with starting my business, right? Now it seems silly. I'm going, look at all these people who have these new lives, who are doing amazing. How silly to be afraid of starting a business, right? So anyway, don't let fear hold you back. Let me know in the comments what is your relationship with deserving and not deserving. What does it mean to you? I know someone the other day was saying that they are really great at treating other people well and they're always positive, but internally there's definitely that feeling of not good enough, not deserving, all of that kind of stuff. And those are the feelings that on a day-to-day basis, right, you act positive, you're all bubbly and shiny and whatever, but then internally you're always stopping yourself, you're always hitting that wall. And this is so common. So I would love to hear from you guys. What is that wall for you? What are those fears that are coming up? And what do you do when those fears come up? Do you ignore them, or do you move forward anyway? Or, you know, what happens? Sometimes there's like a big cloud that just kind of takes over your mind and you can't think straight, and so you just switch things that you're thinking about because your mind just stops working. So yeah, I'd love to hear a bit more about that, and I would love to hear if you tell me in the comments, are you ready to deserve your dream? Are you ready to take that decision, knowing that those fears are going to keep coming up even once you've taken that decision, right? It's not going to be easy. So let me know in the comments, what is the dream that you deserve, that you know, and why? Why do you deserve that? I'm sure you guys have plenty of reasons why you deserve it, okay? So great talking to all of you. And my calendar is currently it's pretty booked up right now, but there are some roadmap sessions available. I'm working with some other roadmap session coaches who are going to be able to help you guys out So if you want to book a slot to see if you're a good fit for the Accelerate Your Ambitions program, I am taking a few enrollments this month. We work with about 5 people at a time to get them to their dream career. We spend 8 weeks together working on that, getting them clear about what direction they want to go in, and then getting them clear about their value, what they deserve, and then also getting those opportunities coming in so they can actually get magnetized as an opportunity magnet and stop doing this thing of running after all the jobs and trying to fit themselves into boxes. So this is a new way of working. This isn't really like traditional kind of career coaching and stuff like that, but it's getting really, really great results for people because the people who are in my program are tired of being boxed in. They're tired of having their self-worth always being put down because of those boxes that they're trying to put themselves into. And so they're really ready to have that worth recognized by the world as well as by themselves, right? Sometimes we're not even sure what exactly we have to offer. So the first step is recognizing that value in yourself, and then you can start communicating that to other people. And that's where we do a personalized communication strategy for everyone so that they can start communicating that and they can start landing those opportunities and getting the life that they want and the career that they want. So it's pretty exciting. So you guys, if you want to book a session, the link is accelerateYourAmbitions.com/apply, and then one of my career roadmap session coaches is going to get on the call with you at the time that you choose. And what you're going to do together is look at what is not working for you in your career right now, getting that clarity, which is going to really help you to move forward. And then we're going to see, my coaches are really, really good at picking and choosing who is the right fit for the program, because the fact is not everyone is ready to accept what they deserve and to step up and go ahead and get it. Like some people, those fears are still way too big, there's still too many dark clouds, and they're just not ready, or just the process that we use is not the right process for them. So we will tell you that if that's the case, but even if that's the case, you'll still get a lot of clarity about where you are right now in your career and some ideas about how you can move forward. And if you are a good fit, then we'll tell you that as well and explain, how that works and everything, and how you can get into the program so you can join the rest of us that are heading towards our dream careers and making a difference in the world and operating at that higher level. Oh, hey, Braulio, thanks for the thumbs up. All right, you guys, so go ahead and book your sessions. It's accelerateYourAmbitions.com/apply. And I'm really looking forward to hearing from you. I know it is sometimes a difficult thing to talk about, but I would love to see in the comments, what is it that you're struggling to deserve right now? What is that dream, and are you ready to claim it? And give yourself some reasons. Why do you deserve that thing? Why is it, right? Braulio says, hi Dahlia, keep up the great content. Thank you. And you guys, make suggestions. Let me know what you want to hear about next, right? I'm here to help you out. I'm making these videos based on the questions that you send me, or based on what I'm hearing from you, based on what we're hearing from people in the program, sort of their struggles and stuff like that. So if you have something that I haven't talked about, or you want me to go more deeply into, then just let me know and I'll try to put that into the next video. All right, guys, nice to see you as always, and have an amazing day. Talk to you soon.